Hey, what's happening? This is Justin Sandler coming to you live from the bike path, heading home from the gym, and this will now be my second video made on this very bike path in the last few weeks. I'm thinking about starting a new series called Inspirational Bike Trails. No, all serious, no, I was working out at the gym and had a really interesting growing experience that was quite profound, as a matter of fact. And I guess these kind of happen a lot when I bike to the gym at night. And so I should do this more often because every time I do, I come back with some sort of experience. And sometimes I got to share it with you because I think it's so profound that maybe you could learn something from it too. So I'm actually a little scared to share this video because it's going to really open up some vulnerability. So I guess because I'm scared, that means I should do it anyway, because that's when real growth happens. So I biked to the gym tonight, just a little before sunset, feeling really good. Get inside the gym, ready to work out, do leg day, and I walked in and it was packed tonight. And suddenly I found myself looking around, trying to find the machine to start on. I couldn't find the right one. I just started, I don't know, my head just went into some kind of a trigger, a story that I used to tell myself. And it happened really strangely because I've been doing a lot of self-work, a lot of personal growth, and rewriting those old stories, the stories that used to live with me daily. And I guess every once in a while, something could trigger it and come back, and that's a chance to really observe what that story was and truly how you can move past it and get rid of it for good. So what happened was I walked in, obviously looking around to start, and all I see is big, strong guys lifting lots of weights, in good shape. Somehow I felt inadequate, felt like I wasn't big enough, strong enough, tall enough, like I didn't belong there. I got suddenly like confused. I couldn't figure out where to start my workout, and it was an old story from years ago that just popped in my head, and it started to escalate very fast. Suddenly I felt like people are looking at me and they're laughing at me and they're making judgments about me and what I look like. God, my hair's messy from my bike helmet, and what else could it be? And God, that's a bad place to go, because that story is serving nothing, and that's just perpetuating more of the same, and it's not a true story. And that's the biggest point, is that that is only a story, very fictional. And the lesson for me especially is that, number one, awareness. That's my old story. I really, on honesty, walked around with that feeling that I wasn't good enough, and that people, if they were looking at me, they were judging me or thinking something about me. Or if I saw people laughing over there, my first assumption was, oh, they're laughing at me. And I mean, what a weird story to have, but that was my story most of the time. Waiting for bus, bye bus. So that story was never serving me, and when I started to learn that that was just a story, and that was just a perception, a belief, a false belief, I started to overcome that and move forward. And I started to rewrite that story, that past, that wasn't actually people looking at me or making fun of me or whatever that was, or I wasn't really inadequate. That was a story I was telling myself. And the more you tell yourself, guess what? The more you believe it. So as I was doing that tonight, it was becoming more apparent in me that I was triggering an old story, something that was no longer going to serve me. And so I had to make an instant decision. How are you? I had to make an instant decision to change and become aware. And that was the first thing, is the awareness. And I think the more you learn, the more you grow in doing your personal development and doing your personal seeking of changing who you are, is that awareness is the first thing. So that when you do fall back into an old pattern, if something does trigger you to a bad memory or a false belief system or a story you've been living by that you no longer need to live by, that's no longer serving you, the second you become aware of that, that's key. Because now I'm aware, now I can recognize that when it happens. So should it happen again, and it very well may, but the faster you recognize it, the faster you can snap out of it and realize, oh, that was just that story again. I don't need to be there. I don't need to be there. And it took me a while. And finally, on my second machine of working out tonight, it all clicked in me. There it was. There was that realization that I'm sitting here living some story from years and years ago. Like, no one cares what I look like, what I'm doing, who am I. Like no one really cares as much as I think that they care. That's the story that I'm putting onto them. And so when I really realized that I don't need to worry about what other people are looking at or saying or whatever, because it doesn't matter anyway. And I don't need to be as big and as strong and as tall and as buff or whatever as someone else here. I just need to be the best me I can be, working hard on myself, inside, outside, physically, mentally, emotionally. Being the best me is the best thing I can be. And so I literally looked up, and I was on this machine where I was kind of leaning over and doing this back leg press, and I looked up, and it was almost like one of those Matrix moments when Keanu looks over and he sees all the green numbers and whatnot, and it's like, clarity. And I got up off that machine, and I suddenly felt this this lightness to myself. And I wrapped up there, and I started walking to the next thing, and all of a sudden I was doing mental check. I was kind of trying to read what was going on with my body at that point. Awareness, again, presence. That is what the key is to all this, is super presence. And so I realized that I was actually walking taller, and I wasn't looking around as much, at who might be looking in my direction or what might be influencing me from the outside that's really not there or not true. I was just doing my thing. And it immediately clicked that I just need to do that all the time. Whenever something happens that might trigger anything less than that, you need to say to yourself, I'm a badass, man. I'm a badass. I belong. I'm the best I can be, and who cares what anyone else thinks, because it's not true. Even if they do think something, it's not true. And we have to sort of catch ourselves and realize that, you know what? And this, again, is not just a gym thing. This is anywhere you go, anything you do in life. We make up stories. And those stories are so untrue about what other people think or say, and the stories about ourselves are the worst. When we create something that isn't there, a lack, a missing confidence, a lack of self-worth, a lack of belonging, it's all bullshit, And so, I don't know, this is my experience tonight. This is what I wanted to share with you guys, because once I felt that different, I felt more in my power. I felt the ability to walk in the gym and go in the area where I wanted to originally go and do some squats, because there's these 4 Goombas this one guy was lifting like 550 pounds and using sniffing salts, and I'm like, I don't want to be that. I don't care how much he's lifting. I don't want to be that guy. I mean, he can be that guy. That's fine for him, but that's not me. I don't need to lift 400 pounds more than I weigh. I need to do what I do. I need to build my body, because quite honestly, when I looked in the mirror, I realized that I'm looking good right now. And this is not to sound cocky, but what I've been working on building myself, I feel like I'm looking great, and I'm stronger than I've been in years. And I'm doing great things with my life. So you have to say to yourself, and this is just me talking to me, Justin, I am a badass. I am a rock star. I'm a superstar. People are looking at me because maybe they recognize me. Maybe they envy me. Maybe they appreciate me. It doesn't matter. What matters is that when I look at me, I know that I'm amazing. Just amazing. That's all you gotta say, is I'm amazing, because you are. I am. That's it. I'm amazing. And you're done. And whenever you think anything less than that, I am amazing. And you're done. So, let's rewrite that old story. That's BS. You are amazing. Have a beautiful night. I'll see you on the next one.